Hi, and welcome to the McTaggart Attack podcast. I'm Kevin McTaggart. If you're listening to this podcast for the first time, I am a stand-up comedian who lives in Vermont, and my podcast is my way of giving my thoughts on basically anything. I'm either mad, sad, angry, happy, inspired, motivated, or something, and I like to share it in podcast episodes in one way or another that comes out Monday through Friday. That's right. At the most, this podcast was a couple times a week. And then once coronavirus happened and I couldn't do stand-up comedy anymore, I thought, I need to do this podcast Monday through Friday. So I am, because I need to do something to help me stay sane in this time when I can't do something that I truly love to do. Stand-up comedy. So that's why I'm doing the podcast Monday through Friday now. And I intend to keep it that way once the virus has been eliminated, or they get a vaccine, or there are no more cases, or something like that. Some people say that, hey, maybe if we stopped testing, there wouldn't be any more cases. And those people are fucking idiots. But today's episode, let's see, what's happened today? What's on my mind today? Those are things you shouldn't say when recording a podcast. Those are not good words to use when recording a podcast. I just want you to know that. So, this podcast, what the fuck happened today? Did anything of consequence? What's pissing me off? What's on my mind? What am I upset about? There's something in my head that I need to get out of my head to put into this podcast, and I can't really think of what the fuck that actually fuck is right now. It's working from home is fun for now. It sucks though. Like, it sucks because I didn't really like going to work, and then working from home started because of the pandemic, and then I work from home and it's great, but I'm spending 8 hours of my day on a job that I'm quite frankly not that interested in. There's other things I'd rather do than the work that I'm doing. You know, I'd rather work on content related to comedy or content related to something. I want to go into business for myself. But I guess that business that I'm going to go into is comedy. Like, I've asked a few times on this podcast, like, what am I good at? And I had one good friend, Kate Gladeau, tell me that I thought I was one of the most empathetic people, and that's struck a chord because I've talked about this on my podcast before. I've realized and discovered within the past year or so that I am an empath. I'm a very sensitive person. I pretty much, I'm not saying I'm psychic or anything, but it's like I know how people are feeling pretty easily. I can tell without them even fucking telling me. Like, my sister wanted help moving some stuff on Saturday. and she was at the house, and she looked distressed, and I'm thinking, she's probably not wanting to do this herself. I should probably help her and do it. And if you're going to help someone move, don't wear flip-flops. Yeah, because I almost stepped on a tack, because I had to take my shoes off, and then I had to step in some puddles, and like I got the flip-flops all muddied. And so, yeah, don't wear flip-flops in all situations. That would be some good advice that I can give the podcast today, So yeah, I was able to tell, and I asked for some elaboration from my friend when I asked her about that. She thought I was very empathetic, so I asked, how do I make that a business? And she said writing or social nonprofit work. Oh, and that makes sense, because as a comedian, I should write more material. I'm not very good at writing material. I have a lot of stuff in my head, and I know what I want to do. I just have to transfer all that information. I have all these ideas in my head that I need to get out onto paper and do that. Not even just comedy, but other ideas that I have, and I need to get into that and figure that out. One problem I think that I'm more aware of more than ever since looking into this empath thing is a lot of times I'm upset, but it's not because I'm upset, if that makes any sense. A lot of times I'm upset because I know other people will be upset about something. I kind of don't want to tell this story, but you know what? I gotta treat this podcast like nobody fucking listens anyway. So, over the weekend, we got some portable air conditioners that don't go in the window for the house. We got 2 of them, one for my room and one for the living room, because my room is the hottest room of the house. And I was worried the entire time, because I was worried. I didn't want the things to catch fire, because we had to put the vent onto the window. There's a tube that goes to the window, and then all that shit. And I was just worried the whole time. I thought it was a bad idea, but it wasn't really me that was upset. I was upset because I was afraid of what my mom would think about it. That's why I was upset. I wasn't upset because I didn't like it. I thought they were fine. I was afraid of what my mom would think of them. So I was kind of upset about it on her behalf, which is fucked up. That's just one example. I tend to be upset on other people's behalf a lot. And that's a bad way to be upset about things. I shouldn't be upset about other people's things. And I think one factor that led to me being so upset on Sunday was that I didn't meditate Saturday. I didn't have any time. I forgot to meditate Saturday. So it completely fucked me up Sunday, because I was so worried about this portable air conditioner that I thought was going to blow up the house if we hooked it up wrong. Because I read the instructions. I read the safety instructions, which is apparently something you should never do. Because it said that it has to be 20 inches away from everything. And I'm like, but it's not. What are we going to do? Oh my God. And I'm worrying about stuff. And usually I don't worry that much. But then I'm realized a day or so later that I wasn't worried that it wasn't me that didn't like it. It was that I knew that my mom wouldn't like it. which is fucked up. But, like, it's not that, like, it's her that I get, that I get. It can be anybody. That's how fucked up this is. Because, like, I'm afraid of what people think. But I also worry about what people think. I worry for them. I worry for people. Don't worry for other people. It's like, I've talked about it before, how, like, people vent to me about stuff. And I have, I've had people vent to me about stuff that upsets them, and then I'm upset. I have to learn to, like, release that. But in this case, like, I just imagined that my mom was going to be upset about these air conditioners. And she was. Because she worries about a lot of things. But she's a mother, and mothers are supposed to worry about a lot of things, right? Right? Anyway, it was just such a frustrating day for me, because, like, I was so concerned and so fucking worried, and I couldn't get it out of my head until I realized, wait, I'm not actually worried about this. I'm worried based on how I think my mom will think of this. And it's not just her. Like, I worry a lot of times based on what I think other people will think of this. I'm not sure if I'm saying it in the best way. Like, I worry based on what other people will think of it. But I don't know what they think. You know, I just assume based on my experience with these people that I know what they're going to like or not like, if they'll be happy or not. A lot of times I assume that they're happy, and I'm right, but a lot of times I assume that they're not going to be happy about it. And that's fucked up. It really sucks being an empath. That's a really good title for this podcast episode, now that I think about it. But yeah, it's just, oh my God, it sucks being so sensitive, because it's like, I just glean that emotion from someone else. You know, it's like I can tell that they're upset or that they're going to be upset. So it makes me upset that I think that they're going to be fucking upset. And it's just so fucked up that I get so upset about other people when they're upset about things, but I'm not that upset about it. I'm just worrying about other people because I know how they're going to fucking react to it. And it's just so goddamn irritating that, like, it bothers me that I'm bothered by this. Which is so messed up. But then, like, I started meditating again, and those feelings went away. So it makes me more aware of what's happening. But I, like, wasn't really aware of it at the time because I was so worn out and tired. I wasn't really thinking. I wasn't being very mindful of the entire situation. And I got wrapped up in this shit, because meditation really helps me with my empath stuff. Oh my God. So yeah, it feels good to get that off my chest, because this is my podcast, and that's what it's for me to get stuff off my chest and record it. And then people will listen. And don't tell my mom that I told this story. All right? All right. Keep this between me and you. I fucking promise. All right. Thank you for listening. Please, I did not say it before. Please subscribe, like, share, and review the podcast with whoever the fuck you know. And that's it. That's the bottom line. If you smell what the McTaggart Attack podcast is cooking.